Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2003 movie Final Destination 2. So this movie is directed by David R. Ellis, and in this movie, when Kimberly has a violent premonition of a highway pileup, she blocks the freeway, keeping a few others meant to die safe. Or are they, as the survivors mysteriously start dying, and it's up to Kimberly to stop it before she's next. So this one pretty much has the same premise as the original and everything. She has the premonition and each start dying one by one. That's not really anything that new to the story or anything but of the franchise, but it has the same template of the first one, but they do add some new things in here. Like, she has these other premonitions of like how people are going to die, and she gets these little clues of how they're going to die, and she tries to figure out how to stop it and everything. It's pretty interesting stuff and everything, and it's a pretty good sequel to the first Final Destination movie. I think AJ Cook as Kimberly is a really likable protagonist. She's not quite as good as Alex Browning from the first movie, but she's still pretty good and everything. And Michael Landis as Officer Burke is pretty good too, and all of the supporting characters are great. And Ali Larter returned from the first movie. She's the only one that returned and everything, is Claire Rivers and everything. She has a pretty good sized supporting role in this movie, which was pretty cool and everything. And like at the beginning of the movie, she's living in this mental institution in a room with padded walls so that she doesn't die and everything. And she kind of just is scared of the world and too afraid to help people, and she ends up deciding to leave the mental hospital to help Kimberly and her friends and everything. And it's cool, they all like have connections to the survivors of the first movie. Like somehow they're connected and everything. Like one of them is a teacher that replaced the teacher from the first movie at the school. One of them is the police officer, like I said, Officer Burke. He helped with 911 calls with some of the survivors' deaths and stuff. Like all of our characters have some kind of connection to the characters from the previous movie. I thought that was really awesome concept and stuff. And just like with the song Rocky Mountain High, every time I hear the song Highway to Hell by AC/DC, I can't help but think of this movie and everything, because it's about to play right as they go on the highway and everything. And a lot of times if we're going somewhere and we're going on the highway, if that song comes on, I get paranoid. Like, this franchise does something to me. Like, I get paranoid a lot after watching these movies, because they really sit and make you think, like, okay, like makes you look around at the room and like everything that could kill you. Like right now as I'm talking, there's a TV right above my head if I were to bump my shelf that my phone is sitting on while I'm filming this video. If I were to hit it the right way, that TV would fall and crush my head and everything. Just little things like that freak me out and everything. And as a teenager, this movie gave me pretty big anxiety going on road trips and stuff. And anytime we're on a road trip and everything, and there's a big truck in front of us, I always get nervous, especially if it's a log truck, which doesn't happen as often as you'd think it would, but it does happen every now and then when we're on the road and there's a log truck in front of us. It don't happen very often nowadays, but because I don't go on road trips very often, but whenever it does happen, it freaks me out. I'm like, I've seen Final Destination 2, I want to get away from this guy and everything. And there's a lot of things that I could say about that in this franchise. This movie alone, I'd say I've seen Final Destination 2, I'm staying away from freeways with log trucks on it, fences when the wind's blowing real bad, ladders and spaghetti on the ground, a lot of stuff. I just want construction workers that are working by dentist office going to the dentist. I don't like doing that because of this movie and everything, because and everything. And part of what makes these movies so good is the sound effects too. That was something I forgot to mention in my review for the first one, is like the sound effects of and everything that they have every time, little creaks and sounds that things make and everything throughout the movie is just adds to the eerie atmosphere. And this movie has that same eerie atmosphere that the first one did and everything, although I think it's executed a little bit better with the eeriness in the third movie. I think the third one has a little bit more of an eeriness to it, but this one has some pretty good eerie moments and everything, but it also has some pretty good comedic moments. David R. Ellis added some comedic parts in here too, and parts where there's a few funny deaths, especially the one at the end when the kid is standing by the grill and it explodes and his arm goes flying onto the plate, and then the movie cuts to credits and stuff. I love that scene, and I love how the ending is, because like it didn't really necessarily have a happy ending and everything. And the one thing that I do think that sucks is they don't really follow up what happens to these characters, the surviving characters. They never follow up with them in the sequels, so far as we know, they're still alive. Like Officer Landis and Kimberly could still be alive in this universe, and we just don't know it. They never really clarified if they died or not. And I will say that all the deaths in this movie are pretty cool. Everything. The one that this movie's probably most known for is all the deaths that happen in the pile-up, but like out of the deaths after the pile-up, the one that the movie was most marketed on was the ladder death, where the guy slips on the spaghetti and the ladder comes flying down into his eye and stuff. They showed that. They marketed the heck out of that scene and everything, but I thought it was a really cool death scene and everything. And luckily it was the first one and everything, so all the rest of the deaths in the movie, they didn't run and everything. I think my favorite one is the one with the lady with that gets her hair stuck on the guy with the hook hands and stuff. I thought that was just a pretty brutal death scene and everything. She gets stuck in the elevator and gets her head stuck and everything, and it's like every time I go into an elevator I have to rush in and out of one because I get freaked out by elevators because of this movie. Like this movie freaks me out on a lot of things and everything, but they are so much fun and everything, and this one is no exception. It's a blast and everything. So I will say the visuals in here are pretty good. There are some cool practical effects. There's some really bad, outdated early 2000s CGI blood and stuff that isn't as effective as it would be if they used practical, but there are still some pretty good bloody kills where characters get covered in blood and stuff. So you get some good moments and stuff with that too. But like I said, the kills with the CGI and stuff, I could take or leave the gore personally. I prefer practical gore over CGI gore, but in most franchises the CGI gore bothers me on, but a lot of times the death scenes are so fast paced it don't really bother me and stuff. Like we get just enough carnage for it to work. So I'd give Final Destination 2 an A. I wouldn't say it's an A+ like the first one, but it's still a really good movie and it's a lot of fun and everything. It's a really good sequel. I think it's legit almost as good as the first. Not quite as good, but almost. It's kind of like how Scream 2 was really good too. It was a great sequel to it, except I feel like this one did the sequel thing a little bit better than Scream 2 did. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Final Destination 2, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
Yeah!